What's up, world? Welcome back to Charge the Game podcast. Here we are discussing Jayson Tatum as the world is in flux, as he did not play in the first opening game of the USA Olympics, USA versus Serbia. Fantastic game. Man, Kevin Durant really did his thing, guys. And I saw the whole world reacting to this. And if I'm being honest, guys, I didn't really see a big deal about it, especially since there's still a decent amount of basketball left to be played. I just didn't take it that way, guys. But Stephen A. Smith, guys, we're about to react to him sounding off on Steve Kerr for not playing Jayson Tatum. You guys get in here, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the videos. Let's go.
That's why I find myself pissed off right now at Golden State Warriors and now Team USA's head coach, Steve Kerr. Because we got to get to him. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, the man elected not to play Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum. 0 minutes. Jayson Tatum, the last 3 years, All-NBA first team. Jayson Tatum.
I can understand why everybody is mad. I mean, it's not a good look, okay? This guy just fresh off of the NBA Finals, is an NBA champion now, and he did not get in the game. I just think that Steve Kerr is a guy that is going to play into the popularity. He's going to play into the popularity of Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, Bam Adebayo, like the guys who kind of have an aggressive mentality. If I'm being honest, guys, I love Jayson Tatum's game, but I do think that he has more of a timid approach, and it makes people kind of cast him to the side and deep down kind of not respect him because the guy is just a decent, good guy, all around great guy. And I think that Jayson Tatum kind of is a guy, even when he's mad, he's probably not going to voice his opinion. And I just think that Steve Kerr is going to be biased towards Steph Curry, LeBron, all of those guys. That's just a big three right there. You got Steph Curry, LeBron, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant. I mean, like, it's only so many players that can fit on the court at once. But, guys, I do think that he could have at least played him, maybe a few minutes here and there. That's just my opinion, especially when the league got out of control, guys. So that's what I'm thinking a lot of this backlash is about. I saw everybody talking about it today on, all of the sports media outlets. And to me, I just feel like, he'll put him in the game eventually. He'll get his playing time, guys. And I kind of feel like everybody's making a big deal about this, but that's just me.
The league in the category, the league MVP, Jayson Tatum, the reigning defending NBA champion, Jayson Tatum. And you can't find minutes in a 26-point lopsided victory. You can't find 1 minute.
That's what I just elaborated on, guys. And once I saw the league getting out of control, I kind of felt like you could have put in just everybody. Like, you could have let all of the people, all of the stars on the bench, like send them to the bench and let them rest. And let the young talent get in there and do their thing so they can kind of get their feet wet, because you just never know when you're going to need them. And at the end of the day, man, these people are away from their families, right? Some of them. I don't know if his son Deuce is there with him or not, but, him being away from his family, he probably wants his son to see him, on the court playing basketball, because those are memories that, that last a lifetime. So I do feel like, within that 26 stretch when they were literally blowing them out, that Jayson Tatum could have gotten in the game, guys. I will admit that.
I'm trying to get away from cussing because, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but I'm a decent human being that loves the Lord, and my pastor's watching me sometimes, and I know he gets mad at me when I cuss. But Steve Kerr, that's some straight bullshit.
See, Stephen A. Smith has kind of been a little extra to me. I don't think you got to do all this now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, a lot of people feel some type of way. But in my opinion, I feel more offended that Jaylen Brown is not even on the team, period, than Jayson Tatum not getting in the game, because at least he will get into games at some point. Jaylen Brown was straight up snubbed. So that's why I'm just looking at it that way. And then on top of that, you got Drew Holiday and you got Derek White. All three of his teammates are over there, and he's here stateside. So I just feel like, guys, at least Jayson Tatum is there. At least he's on the court. He might not be in the game, but Steve Kerr already just stated that he's going to put him in the next game. I know Jayson Tatum is probably pouting, man, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I do believe he's going to get his chance. I just think that the media is a little thirsty and they kind of want to blow this, they kind of want to make this a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, it's not a good look. Like I said, guys, it's not a good look. But at the end of the day, man, I do feel like Steve Kerr, man, me knowing the coach he is, he's going to do right by him. Now, with that being said, I saw a report where he said Jayson Tatum was sick, and Jayson Tatum came out and said he was good. So that right there is something that I don't like. But I'll keep going, guys.
I mean, really? You gotta be kidding me. I mean, what possible excuse could you have for that? I don't want to hear this. And I'm reading these reports, and these people getting on my damn nerves. Getting on my damn nerves. But before I get into any of that with Steve Kerr and his BS, let's hear his BS excuse or rationale when he was talking to ESPN's own Brian Windhorst, who was on this show last week.
You guys played your best game of the whole summer to this point, but you didn't get to use Jayson Tatum, who's obviously one of the best players in the league. Obviously, that's one of the hard things to do in your role.
Yeah, it's tough, but Jayson handled it really well. I talked to him today before the game that it may play out this way, just with Kevin coming back and the lineups that I wanted to get to. But that'll change. Jayson's going to play. Every game's going to be different based on matchups. He's a total pro. He's first team All-NBA 3 years in a row. I felt like an idiot not playing him. But 40-minute game, you can't play more than 10. You really can't. And so I think he's an amazing guy, great player, and handled it beautifully. And he'll be back out there next game.
Now, guys, if I'm being honest, man, like it's only like so much Steve Kerr can do because he has to manage all of these divas. That's what I'm saying, guys. Y'all got to kind of cut him some slack because if he didn't start another player, it would have been something. If he didn't start another player, it would have been something. This player, that player. So I feel like the way that Steve Kerr typically conducts himself is spot on. I mean, everybody can't be on the court. Everybody's going to want minutes. Do I think that, some of these star players like LeBron, KD, Steph can kind of take a back seat at times? Yes, I really do. So I'm going to give Steve Kerr some slack. I'm not going to join the wave of piling on to people just because. I think that's pretty whack. And I think that that's what Stephen A. Smith is doing here. I think he's trying to oversell it, maybe for views and shit like that. I don't know. But I genuinely have never really heard a lot of bad things about Steve Kerr, and he does his best to manage all of these diva-esque personalities. And, I can't really be mad at that. And I think that Jayson Tatum will understand, especially in the end, if they end up holding or hoisting or being awarded the gold medal, it'll all be worth it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You're a superstar, $300 million man, NBA champion. You feel like you are, due, and you are, and I think that Steve Kerr is going to do right. We just got to sit back and trust the process and stop trying to make, everything about something that it's not.
That's such bullshit. Come on, man. Steve Kerr, you're a 4-time champion. You're one of the great coaches that have ever coached the game of basketball. What do you mean you can't play more than 10? If anybody can play more than 10, it's you. It's you. And the lack of cohesiveness when we lament Team USA and we talk about they got a bunch of superstar players, but they're not necessarily a team because they haven't necessarily played together. You don't have to sit up there and have a starting lineup with the people that you have. Joel Embiid, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Drew Holiday, Devin Booker. Well, the second unit has to be Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, Derek White, Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo. And oh, by the way, now if KD comes back and he's still healthy, you might take Devin Booker out the starting lineup, and instead you might put in Kevin Durant. So Kevin Durant would be starting with Steph Curry and Drew Holiday instead of Devin Booker, and Devin Booker would be starting with Anthony Edwards and Derek White. Really?
Man, you yelling so damn much. I'm trying to keep up with this guy. I get what you're saying, Stephen A. Smith, but at the end of the day, you are a commentator. None of us really knows how it feels, to be in the position of Steve Kerr, first off. And, second off, there are valid points. Like I said, guys, there are valid points that Stephen A. Smith is making. I mean, like, honestly, I'm not going to say any coach can coach these players. You have a coach who has the perfect balance of personality and the X and O's. And I think that they have that in Steve Kerr. And it's not as easy as Steve Kerr makes it look. And that is the only reason that people are saying you could have played Jayson Tatum. We don't know what superstars are in Steve Kerr's ear. We don't know who's going to his room to, pretty much say, hey, let's do this, let's do that. I mean, LeBron, KD, Steph, they can easily go to Steve Kerr and say, this is the lineup I want. See, Steve Kerr is out and taking all of the blame. He's taking all of the bullets. But in reality, I think that he's listening to those superstar players over there. That's what I think, man. And until we're in that position, that's why I said, guys, it's easy to judge a book, by its cover from the outside. But I just think that Steve Kerr is a guy who's always under duress because he's always managing personalities. And in my book, he's always been a good guy to me.
The talent that you have, what do you mean you can't play more than 10? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because they're all great. What are you trying to say? That you couldn't find a few minutes for an all-NBA player who stands here today as the reigning NBA champion? Who averaged 27 a game? Who, by the way, isn't too shabby defensively? But you can find time for teammates, not one but two, and Drew Holiday and Derek White that can't do what he does.
Hold on, Stephen A. Smith, man. You gotta. I get the frustration, guys. I really do, man. But guys, Derek White. I mean, I know people like to laugh at him, man, but he has a pretty good game to me. I mean, this guy is a team player. He plays his role. He doesn't care to take the most shots. He's willing to sacrifice his body. And Drew Holiday is the same. So I just feel like even though Jayson Tatum has a defensive package as well, we got to look at how Steve Kerr tactics, how he's planning to use Derek White and Drew Holiday versus a Jayson Tatum, man. Like, Jayson Tatum is a guy who's going to need the ball, guys. And I do think that Steve Kerr could have figured something out. I'm not going to deny that. But I don't think that this is the way that Stephen A. Smith is coming at him, man. I just don't, man. Don't nobody really want to turn the TV on and be seeing everybody talk bad about them because they're just listening to the players that are, the superstars. I guarantee you guys that's exactly what happened with Steve Kerr. He's listening to the LeBrons of the world, the Kevin Durant's of the world, the Stephen Curry. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, even though Anthony Edwards is a guy that's young, he just has that cachet. Like, at a young age, he already has that cachet. And I just think that it's time to just kind of like water this down a little bit, man. Stephen A. Smith is coming on a little bit too hot and heavy. And I get, that he's going to bat for Jayson Tatum, but he also constantly railroads Jayson Tatum and throw him under the bus all season long, saying that he is not a superstar, that he's soft, that he's not aggressive. So, I mean, what's your angle here? I'm just confused, guys.
And I get that part. I've seen Jayson Tatum bringing the basketball up the court on many occasions in his NBA career. You're going to tell me he can't do what Derek White does? Who's the star of the Boston Celtics? Who's the guy that just getting paid over $300 million? Who's the guy that led the Boston Celtics to the championship?
Man, please, Steve Kerr, please put Jayson Tatum in the next remaining games, because trust and believe, man, the way that this is setting itself up, I'm not even a Celtics fan, guys, and I really do root for Jayson Tatum, but this is a bit, come on, guys, this is a little bit extra, man. It's just me. Maybe I'm tripping, guys. Y'all let me know in the comment section how y'all feel about this. But, I mean, this isn't the first time that a superstar player has been kind of like upset, throwing a little fit because he didn't have his way. I'd rather have Jayson Tatum upset than Anthony Edwards. I'll tell you that. Stephen A. Smith is just yelling in his mic, man, making us something out of nothing, guys. And at the end of the day, I think that Jayson Tatum is a pro's pro. He understands this. He's built for this. And maybe he wants to get in because he's tired of people saying that Jaylen Brown is the more aggressive out of the two. They don't know if he's a superstar. He wants to just have fun in this Olympics. You know what I'm saying? But I do think he's going to get there, guys. I do. I think all this stuff is just extra is Stephen A. Smith. He's just being Stephen A. Smith.
And to have him go through an entire NBA season and then go through the playoffs and capture a championship and still take time in his off season to join Team USA and to go overseas to play in Paris and to have a champion riding the bench.
Oh, now that doesn't sound pleasant, guys. I will admit that does not sound pleasant, and I just stated that in the opening of this video where I'm like, okay, guys, like it's not a good look. He's the NBA champion, and he does deserve to be on the floor. You definitely want Deuce, his baby boy, his son, to watch his dad on TV, or if he's there in person at the Olympics. And this guy is an NBA champion, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you have other Celtics sharing the floor as well. I mean, like, damn, like if you put all three of these guys on the floor or some type of rotation, you need some type of defense, first of all. And I get it. You need some type of defense, first of all. And I really do get that, guys. But I just feel like Steve Kerr knows what he's doing, man. And you just have to trust the process, man. And Jayson Tatum, he will be rewarded. I think that Steve Kerr is going to do right by him. No, this was not a good look, guys, but it's not the end of the world.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, that's nonsense.
This man.
That's just nonsense.
This dude's Stephen A. Smith, man.
I don't know this definitively because I'm certainly not implying that they're better than you, Steve Kerr, but I think they would have found time for Jayson Tatum. I don't think they would have made some comment about, oh, you just can't play 10 plays. So what you trying to say, Steve Kerr? You say he'll play the next game. Well, if he plays the next game, you trying to tell me somebody else ain't going to play? Devin Booker's not going to play? Jayson Tatum starred at Duke University. He comes into the NBA as a top 3 overall pick when he really should have been number 1 because Brian Colangelo and the Philadelphia 76ers should not have drafted Markelle Fultz. It should have been Jayson Tatum. He's a star in the NBA who continues to elevate. He's been in the 5 conference finals, 2 NBA championships before his 27th birthday. He's an NBA champion, and he's riding the bench because Steve Kerr said Derek White, who played Division II basketball.
Now, let's make sure that Stephen A. Smith keeps this energy next season because this dude is so wishy-washy and flip-flop. One minute he's saying that Jayson Tatum isn't this or that, but now that it's convenient to brag and boast about Jayson Tatum, and now that he sees that, you know, this is pretty much trending, he's coming in here being a little extra, guys. I know what Stephen A. Smith is doing, man, but I think that there's a lot of people out there who probably feel the way that I do, that, I mean, at the end of the day, it isn't the end of the world. Yes, Jayson Tatum is a fabulous, phenomenal talent, guys. And I like Jayson Tatum. Smooth, very smooth shot, very smooth bag. And like Steve Kerr said, he talked to him before the game. That probably explains the pouting and stuff like that. And guys, these guys are competitive. Everybody's ready to play that first game at some point. And unfortunately, it did not happen for Jayson Tatum. But, you know, going forward, we'll see. We'll see. Now, if they put Jayson Tatum in and they end up losing, then what they gonna say, right? Then he might flip the script and blame Jayson Tatum. That's why I say, guys, just trust the process, man. Let's just let Steve Kerr do this thing because at the end of the day, none of us are head coaches. I am certainly not, and I do feel like that, you know, from our couch watching the television, you know, it's easy for us to say do this, do that, do that, but you have to not only manage the X and O's of the game, you have to manage personalities. And you have to maintain your own sanity while doing it, guys. It's not as easy as it looks. And I think that Steve Kerr is obviously feeling that.
Very good player. Very relevant. But nobody would mistake him for Jayson Tatum. He plays. But Jayson Tatum don't play. Drew Holiday, elite defensive player. Floor general for sure. But he played before Jayson Tatum. I'm sorry. How about Drew Holiday not starting and Steph Curry being your point guard? There's plenty of options. I don't know. Steve Kerr's forgotten more basketball than I do.
And that just proves my point, guys. Steve Kerr knows exactly what he's doing. Nobody really wants to hear all of this, Stephen A. Smith. I'm sorry. I don't really want to hear all of this. And I just feel like people are making a big deal out of nothing. Like, this is crazy. Like, this isn't like, honestly, guys, Jayson Tatum has been done wrong several times in the league, and you never see Stephen A. Smith or a lot of other people come to his defense when that happens. So I'm just curious, like, all of a sudden now, it just doesn't make sense, guys.
I bet my career I could have found a few minutes for Jayson Tatum. You gotta be shitting me. I mean, this is unbelievable. It's unbelievable to me. If you're gonna bench anybody, bench Derrick White.
True.
What are you talking about? And I say bench none of them. Because your talent is so elite, everybody should be able to get a few minutes. LeBron didn't have to play 27 for you to win.
That is true, guys. LeBron did not have to play that, but LeBron does not know how to take a back seat. So we can automatically void the idea of LeBron coming out of the game for anybody. He definitely wants all of the credit. He wants to shine. He wants to, put the country on his back. And I applaud that. Honestly, in this situation, I really do. But moral of the story, guys, play Jayson Tatum. Jesus Christ. Please, Steve Kerr, play Jayson Tatum so that all of this can go away and everybody can be happy. And, I think that's what's going to happen in the next few games. Steve Kerr has already come out and stated that. And he said that during the interview, guys. So I'm going to end the video right here, guys. I pretty much understand the point that Stephen A. Smith has made loud and clearly, guys. Do you guys feel like this was something, nothing, or a little bit of both? Let me know in the comment section like you often do, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Yeah.